Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It is Thursday night, March 14th, around 10 o'clock. I'm at the backstages of a cold Lee. How you been? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, bud? I'm sorry that you got a cold. Hopefully, you get over that real quick.
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's been a fun little sports week. I think most of the what we're going to talk about today is going to be Steelers. But before
Yeah,
then, Pitt
yeah.
basketball won today. They're going to have another game tomorrow at 7 a.m. Or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
7 p.m. I think this should be out by then. But they're looking good.
Mm-hmm.
They're still on the bubble for the tournament, but they've been fun to watch the last month and a
Yeah.
half. I don't know how many games you've been able to see yourself, but it's a pretty good
Now I've
team,
seen,
fun team to watch.
yeah, I've seen a few games. They look pretty good this year. I'm excited to see if they can make a nice little playoff push and see how they can go during March Madness. So it'd be real nice to see what they can do.
Yeah, if they make it, I think they can be a real threat. They got a couple good
Mm-hmm.
scorers. They got a decent six-man Ish Leggett who had 30 points today.
Yeah.
The two freshman guards been playing great with Bub Carrington and Jalen Lowe, and then first team All ACC and Blake Henson. So it's been a real good
Yeah.
roster, and I think if they do make the tournament, they have a good shot to go on a little bit of a run there.
Yeah.
And then tonight was there's a prospect thing called the Spring Breakout where they had the top prospects from the Pirates and the top prospects from the Baltimore Orioles played a game. Paul Skeens came in for just one inning. He's that top prospect we've been talking about a couple times. He had two strikeouts in that one inning. First batter of the game, he goes 101, 101, 102 fastballs, three straight
Oh
strikes
wow.
to get the guy
Yeah.
out. So it was fun
Oh
to see
wow.
that.
Yeah.
Their season's coming around the corner. They're what are we 2 weeks away now? We'll be right
Yeah.
back into baseball season. But the big topic this week, there's been a lot of moves on the Steelers side, so we can
Yeah.
get right into it. I think I'm going to title this Steelers signings, trades, and cuts. It's been an interesting
Yeah.
week.
Yes, it has.
No bigger than news than these next two guys.
Yeah.
We teased a little bit of this last week, but it
Yeah.
both came to fruition. Russell Wilson, quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh Steelers, 1 year
Mm-hmm.
deal, less than $2 million per year. It's a nice little move, I think. We
Yeah.
talked about it a little bit, but what are your thoughts on Russell Wilson coming to the Steelers?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he'll go. I saw some stats from like the past couple years between him and Kenny. He's definitely done a lot more with the Broncos
Mhm.
than what we have with Kenny, and I'm excited to see him come in and give some competition to Kenny and see what'll happen with the starting QB job. I'm just like shocked, at a lot of these moves, especially these two right here. I mean, let me ask you really quick. When was the last time the Steelers have had a week like this where they have made some free agent signings? I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I seen anything like this where they've actually brought in some names of people from free agency. I mean, the one big thing that I could think of, and it was a trade during the season with Minka. That was like the the,
Yeah.
the last big thing that I remember with them bringing somebody in like that. And this off season, there's been so much going on. I mean, it's exciting to see that they're bringing in Russell Wilson and uh, McQueen as well. It'll just be interesting to see how the rest of this off season and franchise or free agency signing goes. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, you're making really good point. They've not made a move like Patrick Queen in
Yeah,
my football loving lifetime. He
yeah,
signs for 3 years, $41 million. He's an elite linebacker, and he's a guy that fills a hole on this team for
yeah,
sure. I we made a little tease at the end of the podcast saying, "Hey, they got some salary cap space if they get Wilson.
yeah.
They can even go out and get a guy like Patrick Queen, and boom, they go out and get a guy like Patrick
They got
Queen.
them both.
These
Yeah,
moves,
yeah,
these
yeah.
moves work in tandem.
Yeah, and I think it's great with Russell Wilson. I mean, got a nice little salary deal with that with the veteran deal. Because Denver's going to be paying his salary, so I think it's a nice salary.
Yeah,
Spending money right there. That was great. I think that was
that's what
great.
that's what for this makes this like a no-brainer. A lot of people want to talk about the
Yeah.
negatives about he's fallen off. Yeah, of course he's not the Russell Wilson that has been like a Hall of Fame caliber guy,
Yeah.
but still a good quarterback. He's still an upgrade over how Kenny has played under Matt Canada. Maybe you can make
Yeah.
the argument that Pickett will be better under a new system and all that. But guess what?
Yeah.
This is going to be a competition. So if that is the
Yeah.
case, Kenny win the job, take over, and it's not like you're paying Russell Wilson all this money, so you don't have to
Mhm.
start him. If Kenny wins the job outright, he's going to win the job outright. I don't think
Yep.
you can make any promises to Russell Wilson. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he comes with some baggage, but I think the baggage is a lot harder to bring to a new team after you get cut by another team and you're getting paid
Mhm.
by this new team under $2 million a year.
Yeah.
And then the other effect of this is Mason Rudolph's gone. He's
Yeah.
now signed with the Titans.
Yep.
So he's moved on to a new team. He
Mhm.
goes where Arthur Smith left, which is
Yeah.
a little ironic that Arthur
Yeah.
Smith could have came here and said, "Hey, come on with the Steelers. We'll run it back with you." But
Yeah.
Steelers had better options on the table. I think Russell Wilson's
Mhm.
obviously a better option than Mason Rudolph, especially when
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph's getting paid a lot more money than Russell Wilson's going to get paid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I think this is a great pickup. I did see a quote from Russell Wilson that he said, he still wants to get out there and try to win like 2 more Super Bowls if he can. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be great if he, if he gets the starting job and he can lead us to a winning season and lead us through the playoffs. That would be great, and sign him again for another year, And so we'll see how this season goes. I'm excited. I mean, wow. I mean, just this week has been insane with the free agencies, with the Steelers. I mean, it's been crazy.
Yeah, and we're talking up the Russell thing, but I think we should really the Patrick Queen move. I think is even more important.
Oh yeah,
And
impressive.
it's
Yeah.
he's a great player, and this defense now they're filling up holes
Mhm.
that we were worried about, and they're win now. We got TJ Watt at his ceiling for another couple years. Highsmith, the linebacking core is really shaping up to be pretty good next year, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a great asset to the middle linebacker and to help our defense out. Just like what again, I'm just shocked about what Mike Tomlin said during his last press conference that we went over about how he's going to the changes are coming. He's going to look outside the organization for things. And we have seen some just insane, crazy stuff. And to get Patrick Queen in there to help with this defense, like you said, they're ready to win now. And they're building up and filling up them spots that we have holes in for our defense. And I'm excited to see a big time player like Patrick Queen in there to help fill up the defense like that. It's going to be great, this coming season.
And the cherry on top is we stole him from the Ravens too.
Yeah,
we take one of their better players, take him from their
Mhm.
roster, and we put him right in, fill a spot for us.
Yep.
And he's not the only guy that they got from the Ravens. There were a couple more signings this week.
Yeah.
Deshaun Elliott, safety
Mhm.
for he was for the Ravens, for the Miami Dolphins before then at other points.
Mhm.
He's going to come in, and you got to think he's going to start alongside
Minka. Yeah.
So that'll be a nice pickup. I mean, he had a pretty decent season last year. His grades and stuff on Pro Football Focus aren't bad. I think he was ranked 36 safety. So I mean, that's a starting safety. You think he's 64 starting safety, so he's like middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And then if you got an elite guy on the other side, I think you can deal with that. And then we can't forget our handsome fella here, this Cameron Johnston, filling for punter, going to replace Presley Harvin. I think these are 2 upgrades. I would hope to see it might come through, but I mean, I can't complain about either of these signings either.
No, not at all. And the fact with bringing in another safety, like we just talked about, they're filling in holes for spots that they definitely needed to pick up players at. And again, it was another nice little steal from one of our rivalries with the Ravens. And of course, with the loss of not having Presley Harvin anymore, bringing a nice little punter, during free agency. I think it's great that they're filling in all these spots where a lot of the players were released and that we don't have the effective players that we need for these positions. The fact that they've actually gone out and actually picked some people up during this free agency. I think these are great two little signings, like you said. I don't see a issue with any of them. I think this is just great. Just these two also assets to to add to our team and to help improve the team all around. So I think this is going to be great. These are two great pickups as well.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott's got a 2-year, $6 million deal, and Cameron Johnson's got a 3-year, $9 million deal. So
Yeah,
both average out to $3 million per year.
yeah,
I didn't want them to go and get a punter in the draft, so I do like that they signed him here. I didn't want to
yeah,
waste a pick in the draft, even if it would
yeah,
have been a late round pick, obviously. But I think
yeah.
you want to use your capital in a way different than with
Oh yeah,
with
for sure, for sure.
a punter or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But not to be overshadowed, Deontay Johnson
yeah,
comes in, swoops in late in the week, I guess early in the week, technically.
yeah.
He gets traded for Deontay Johnson, a 7th-round pick for Dante Jackson, and a 6th-round pick from
Yeah,
Carolina. I'm gonna blame the cold.
yeah. It's
But
all good. You're good. You're
what were
good.
when you saw the news? What were your first thoughts?
I was actually uh kind of happy they made a move like this. I think the drama over the couple years with him has been too much, and I was kind of ready to move off of him. I think it was great that we got a little player pick and a player swap, I should say, and a draft swap as well
Yeah,
on the picks. I think that was great with the trade that they did to bring in another corner, because again, that helped fill up another spot and get another earlier pick in the draft, to help with picking up some extra players. I think this was a great move, to trade him. I kind of thought it was going to happen, and I didn't know it was going to happen this way. But I think it was time for the Steelers to move off of him and to kind of look for somebody else to come in, maybe another veteran to kind of help mold George Pickens, during free agency. So I think this was a great move by the Steelers.
yeah, we've had a love-hate relationship throughout the 2023 season for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He is a good receiver, but you're right. The drama is like to the point where if he wanted this trade, congrats, go away,
Yeah,
have
yeah,
fun. If
yeah,
he didn't want the
yeah,
trade, I mean, it's still a move that the front office thinks is necessary. There
yeah,
must be something behind the scenes that tells them
yeah,
that they had to get rid of him, and this is the time to get rid of
yeah,
him. So I'm not
yeah,
gonna focus too much more time on Deontay Johnson. Let's move on to Dante Jackson, cornerback.
yeah.
He is 28 years old. It was a 2nd-round pick out of Louisiana State in 2018. Last year, he had 52 tackles, no interceptions though, and he was ranked as tied for the 63rd best cornerback in the league, along with Joey Porter Jr. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we thought Porter Jr. had a good season, but they didn't like
Yeah,
his ranking either. There, the one thing about him is he's supposed to be a burner. He's like very fast. He's a very fast
yeah,
corner. And I'm willing to give him a shot. But
yeah.
looking at that ranking and not watching a lot of film, I'm not going to pretend I'm a film guy or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They might
Mm-hmm.
need to fill another cornerback spot, but I'm not clamoring for it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm ready to kind of give him a shot too, to kind of see how he'll be. I mean, again, we did think that Joey Porter Jr. did have a decent season, as a rookie, and with him being tied with a rookie, I you would think that he would maybe be a little bit better with the years he's been in. I don't, I'm hoping that maybe he just needed a different team to be on, a different environment. Maybe Carolina just wasn't it. But I'm excited to give the guy a chance. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they may need to pick up another corner as well. Whether it be free agency or in the draft. But I'm excited to see what he'll bring to the team for us. I'm excited that again we went out and got another guy and brought somebody in to kind of help with the defense. So yeah, I'm ready to give this guy a shot and kind of see how things go.
Yeah, and I think you're right. The draft might be the way to go at this point. There's not a lot of elite guys left, especially
Yeah,
that they can afford. They have a little bit of cap space left, but I think they might have to use it in some other spots. So
yeah,
yeah, I think you're right. The move is going to be in the draft. I think for another cornerback, they got to get someone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not early in the draft, but mid-round
Yeah.
guy. I think they should grab a cornerback in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then to finish off our transactions for this week, there were 3 more cuts made. Allen Robinson, the receiver, that cleared $10 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Peterson, cornerback, that cleared $6.85 million in cap space, and then Keanu Neal, which cleared $2.25 in cap space. So you could argue, looking at the moves that we did make this week, Keanu Neal has been replaced already, and Patrick Peterson's been replaced already.
Yeah.
But the 3 veterans, it just never seemed to work out with any of them. I think Peterson may have worked out the best, but he had the most hype behind him, and he didn't play up to that hype, though. But so these are 3 guys we thought we could get something from. As you see them getting cut early into their time with the Steelers, I don't think any of them really worked out the way they would want to.
No, not at all. Allen Robinson, we didn't see much from him on the offensive side. He had a decent time when he was with the Rams, but it just didn't seem to work out here. And I think it was a good move to move off of him. Patrick Peterson really didn't do much as a cornerback. When they did move him to safety, there was a little bit of maybe some improvement there, but you wish you kind of would have seen more with his caliber of a player. Maybe he just wasn't willing to go back to that safety position. Maybe he liked the cornerback position. But I think it was a good move to kind of move off of him. We didn't really see too much from him. And the same with Keanu Neal. Again, another player we didn't really see too much from. We've already, looks like with the free agency picks up, we got some players already replaced them. Again, I'm excited to see the players that came in. I think these were great moves by the Steelers to kind of, free up some cap space and move off of these players that we really didn't see much over last season with them.
Yeah, I think the cap space is the key here, especially because you're not getting the contribution from these guys. So you're going to have a little bit of dead cap, but I think getting the space here is more important than worrying about that dead cap.
Yeah.
But with that move, with Allen Robinson being cut, there are currently only 2 wide receivers. George Pickens and Calvin Austin, the only 2 receivers that got any playing time really last year left on the roster. So I thought I'd just look into this and be like, what's next at wide receiver? Here are some free agents that are still left out there. I'll just throw them out there and then go wherever you want. We got Josh Reynolds. I looked up some projections on they have him at 2 years, $18 million. Odell, 1 year, $10 million. Marquise Hollywood Brown, 1 year, $12 million. KJ Osborne, 2 years, $10 million. Tyler Boyd, 2 years, $7.5 million. Go on whoever you want, and then I'll bounce off you and everything. Yeah,
I think out of this list, I think Tyler Boyd would be the better pickup. He's a Pitt native, right? I think he went to Pitt.
Yeah, Clareton to Pitt.
Clareton, yeah. And I think out of these receivers, I think he's probably the better pick. Marquise Hollywood Brown, I think, has had some drama over the years. Same with Odell. I think he's just getting a little too older, old as a player. I don't think he's really going to contribute too much if we pick him up. KJ Osborne, I don't really know too much about him. I don't know if he's that effective of a wide receiver. Same with Josh Reynolds. I don't think he's had the career that we need right now as a player. I think out of all these, Tyler Boyd would be the one I think the Steelers could pick up. He's definitely an effective receiver, what we've seen with the Bengals. And I think it'd be great to pick up another player from, especially from the Pittsburgh area. And I think he's the better receiver out of this list.
Yeah, that name jumps out you first with all the connections. Obviously, a Pitt fan, I would love to see him here. The contract's not that bad, even if it's going to be this 2 year, 17.5 mil. He's 30-ish, I think, right now. So he's getting up there, but he's not too old yet. KJ Osborne has been with the Vikings. He's had a pretty decent couple years. Nothing earth-shattering, but he has had some success. But he won. I don't think he would have the impact that Boyd would have. 2 years, $10 million. It's a little cheaper for sure.
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds has had some had some success with the Lions, and then before that he had some time with the Rams.
Uh-huh.
He's still, I think he's on the younger side of this group. That might be why he's got a little bit more of a price tag there, and he could be something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Odell at this point, I don't think he'll be too helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not the worst. And then Hollywood Brown, I do like the idea of him being a deep threat. I know Russell Wilson likes to throw the ball deep. That he could be a guy that could fit with Russell Wilson's play style. My heart goes Tyler Boyd off the bat, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be fine with any of the other three other than Beckham. I don't think Beckham at this
Yeah.
point. I I don't know how much he has left, and I don't know how much of a fit I would want him in the locker room. I don't know how his effect on Pickens might even be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It creates a drama that you really don't need from a guy who's not performing at the level that you want to perform at this point.
Yeah. But you're talking about Hollywood Brown being a deep threat. I think Calvin Austin could be that deep threat with the
Yeah,
speed that he
and
has.
Pickens. Yeah, we
And
do have
Pickens
some
for
here.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I out of this, I would rather see the Steelers pick up Tyler Boyd, to be honest, out of this group.
Yeah, that's what I would want to here.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else we got here? What else you want to talk about this week, Lee? Anything on your mind?
I'm just when was the last time you've seen the Steelers have a free agency like this, an offseason like this, where Mike Tomlin, really came out during that, that press conference and said, we're going to look outside the organization. We're going to bring some different guys in. We're going to make some changes. We're ready to win now. I mean, what you tell me with what, since you can remember, when have you seen anything like this?
Never. We did see signs of this the last couple of years with Omar Khan, where he was making moves that we haven't seen a lot of other guys make. But no, nothing like this. And I mean, they had cap space and they used it. They got a great player in Patrick Queen. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's been a long while, if ever, that there's been moves like this all happening at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, even just with the new coaching staff that they brought in, I mean, it really had been going outside the organization, really bringing in some different people. I mean, it may not be everybody we wanted, but it's definitely some new faces and new names in that locker room and on that field, and I think that, I think that this is going to be still an interesting rest of the offseason come draft time. I mean, even if the Steelers don't pick up another wide receiver during free agency, over the years, the Steelers, when it comes to drafting wide receivers, they're one of the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they're just really good at picking up players. You know what I mean? Wide receivers in the draft. I think even if they don't get one, I think they'll get a decent one in the draft.
Yeah, I think they got to do both. I think they got to get a veteran here in the free agency, and then they got to get someone in the draft for sure. And this is a pretty deep receiver class, so and the way that they've been able to pluck them out almost every time they draft a guy, he's been money. So yeah, I think they need both for sure. You might even have to draft two receivers if maybe one late as like an extra like lottery style pick because the room is very much shrinking lately.
Yeah, for sure. And with the removal and with not removal, but with Mason Rudolph leaving, I think a quarterback as well, they may have to look at least getting as well, a third string guy, so
somebody will have to come in, either a cheap free agent or another guy in the draft.
Yeah. But also, what are your thoughts on some of these other players, real quick, that have been picked up in different teams? I mean,
there's been a lot of nice, interesting moves. Big name wise, Derrick Henry going to the Ravens will be fun to see. It'll be a fun matchup there. Kirk Cousins.
To Atlanta.
That's an interesting one. Calvin Ridley went to the Titans with Mason Rudolph. I don't think Mason's going to be a starter, but I mean, it's possible he wins that job against Will Levis. Will Levis hasn't been great, so who knows?
Who knows? So, I mean, it's been an interesting Saquon Barkley to the Eagles.
That's a fun.
it's gonna be interesting this off season. I was seeing I think a lot of fans when they were asking about this past week of which team has had a pretty decent free agency, and a lot of teams are talking about the Commanders right now. They picked up a good bit of players, and I think a lot of the fans are excited to see that as well. But I have to say the Steelers have done something that I have never seen before this offseason. This is just, I'm excited. I don't know how you feel, but I'm excited for this new season coming up in the fall. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's definitely created a spark, and hopefully creates a spark in Tomlin. Just having new faces around, like you said. You can get into a lull if you just have the same thing. You get complacent. So yeah, there's new stuff going on, and it needed to happen because this team was falling apart.
Yeah.
So
yes, for sure. For sure.
You gotta commend the effort at the very least. They've shown some effort, and I'm hoping and happy for the season. I think you're right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm ready. It's getting there. And this past season really showed us what this team was, and they needed to make some changes. And like you said, they have done it so far just this past week, and there's still, a lot more weeks and months to go with the off season. There's still some more, moves that can be made, and draft. It's coming up. It's coming up, So, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It's been a crazy off season, and I'm ready. I'm ready for next season.
Before we leave, have you seen any of this stuff with the Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads?
Oh yeah, that's how does that even happen? How does that happen?
And then they turned into like a PR thing. So then I was confused. At some point I was like, I don't know if this truck has been stolen. I don't know if they got Jagr on the case. I guess I guess I'll have to find out. I haven't watched the game tonight, so I didn't get to see if anyone got their bobbleheads.
The last that I saw, I think it was the third period. It was 3-3. I don't know if they won or not, but I know it was 3-3 at one point. But I don't. How does that happen? A truck full of bobbleheads? Who wanted that? Who really wanted that? A whole truck full of that? Oh my! That's insane.
Whenever they started to talk about it, the Pirates Twitter or Penguins official Twitter, I thought, okay, maybe it was a publicity stunt. But if it was a publicity stunt, it would have been like the weirdest stunt to ever do, and it made no sense. So because it really is a ridiculous scenario.
We'll see if they find him. We'll see if they.
Maybe look at the culprit. Yeah, who do you think it was?
Well, I bet you it was Jagr himself. He probably stole them all.
I think it was Bob Nutting, because he doesn't want anyone else to have bobbleheads in this fucking town. He said, if you're gonna have a bobblehead, it's gonna be in PNC Park or nowhere else.
Yeah.
He's gonna pin over the Penguin logo and put a pirate logo on it.
Yeah. That's
They're gonna have a special Jagr bobblehead night in Pittsburgh. But it's gonna be a PNC Park.
Opening night for the Pirates is gonna be a Jagr Jagr bobblehead.
You watch.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's hilarious. Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
I think this is a good podcast. A lot cleaner than last week. A lot more fun than last week.
A lot more, for sure.
Apologies to anyone out there that watched that shit show and didn't enjoy it.
I hope you enjoyed it, but we apologize for how crazy it got, but we hope you enjoyed it.
Lee, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you. Have a good one.
You too.
Feel better. Yep.